I love DIY and sewing as much as the next person, but let's be honest, sometimes it can be a bit of a pain. So today I'm going to share some DIY and sewing hacks to make it a little bit easier.
You are watching Madeira 037.
Threading a needle can be one of the simplest and trickiest things to do. I mean, look at this, it's frustrating and we don't want to do the saliva thing. So go ahead and grab some hairspray. Any old hairspray will do. Do a couple sprays on your thread, let it dry, and look at that. Glides through like butter. Make sure that you keep your scissors separate. Have scissors that you use strictly for fabric and ones that you use for cutting patterns and other things. This way you keep your scissors nice and sharp. Now if you're like me and you do a lot of DIY patterns using freezer paper or wax paper, instead of pinning it down, you can actually take that pattern and iron it with the wax side down. Sticks to your fabric, super simple. You can go ahead and cut it out without any pins. And when you're done, all you have to do is peel it up and you're good to go. Now let's say you forget because, stuff happens and you use your good scissors to cut your pattern. No big deal, grab some aluminum foil, make a couple slits, and your scissors will be sharp like new. Thumbs up if everyone in your household knows not to touch your good scissors. Alright, so pinning thick fabric, it can be a little bit tricky, and also if you're using something like this faux leather, it can also leave holes in it and nobody wants that. So grab a few of these little clips and just go ahead and pin those on your fabric like you would your regular, straight pins, and sew down. Good to go. Let's talk about cutting fabric because that can be a bit tricky. You can see I'm cutting straight through and then moving up, straight through and then moving up. That's what you don't want to do because you're going to end up with these jagged lines. It's not cute. Instead of cutting all the way through, cut down almost to the end, move up, and do the same thing. Keep doing that over and over and you'll have a nice straight line. Pattern weights. Look at these things. That's expensive. I'm not spending that much for pattern weights, so head to your local hardware store, grab some of these flat washers. They're super inexpensive. Grab quite a few of them like I did, and instead of using pins to pin your pattern down, you can actually just use these bad boys. What I did was just go ahead and glue them together with some fingernail polish because that's what I had on hand. You go ahead and place those on top of your pattern, it weighs it down, and you can cut it out. Pins can get everywhere. I mean, everywhere. So go ahead and grab a magnetic pin holder. These are super inexpensive, but super convenient as well. Your pins will just stick to it. You see that? They just pile up and stick right there in the center. Even if I tip it over and shake it, they're not going anywhere. And if you're like me and you end up with pins everywhere on your floor, just go ahead and turn it over and use that to pick them all up. This one you guys may have seen. This is a super easy trick. All you need is 2 pencils. You'll go ahead and put a rubber band around them and voila, like magic, you can now mark seam allowances. Super simple and it works really well with curves. Let's talk about pinning your fabric. This is a major key. It's pretty crucial. So you want to make sure that you put your pins in straight, leave a little bit out on the ends so that they're nice and easy to pull out so that you don't break your needles while you're sewing. Super simple. A little different if you're going to be using them on your serger. You want to pin them like so. This way you actually don't even have to take them out when you're working on your serger. You just keep going. Maybe you have some, difficulty sewing in a straight line because you're just starting out, or it just can be tricky sometimes. So grab some painter's tape, go ahead and tape it down onto your machine, line your fabric up right along the edge, and then just go ahead and sew down. When you're done, it comes off without leaving any sort of residue. Fabric them frays can be the worst and super annoying, but all you need are these bad boys right here, which are pinking shears. You can see they cut your fabric with the little diamonds there, triangles, whatever you want to call them, but it keeps your fabric from fraying. This is definitely one of my faves. This is a super simple way to change your serger thread because who wants it? Don't even look at that. It's dirty, it's a mess. We're not even gonna open that up. We're just gonna stay right on the top of the machine and I'm gonna go ahead and cut the thread. So you can see I cut my 2 threads. I didn't cut my needle threads, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut those, replace them with the new color that I will be choosing. And you want to leave enough room so that you have enough to go ahead and tie it off into a little knot, like so. There's a close-up look at the knot. You just want to go ahead and make a little slit good to go. And go ahead and do that on your next thread. Do the same thing, repeat the same process, tie a knot, and you'll go ahead and cut it off. Make sure all your tensions are set to 0 and you can just go ahead and start serging. You see that your new color is already starting to come through. I like to do my needle separate, so I'll go ahead and cut that last. Put my new color down. Then I just go ahead and thread my machine as I normally would, and you are good to go. Super simple, it takes all of the hassle and fuss out of it. Definitely one of my favorite hacks. Sometimes your pins can be a little bit stubborn and they don't want to get through your fabric, especially if you have multiple layers. Grab a bar of soap, stick those pins in there, and it puts a little coating on them so that it makes it nice and simple and easy to get your needles through your fabric. Let's talk about organizing. These racks are super convenient. I found these at Walmart. I went ahead and grabbed one, painted it black, and I store my thread and my bobbin on it. I love this idea. You can actually just tape a measuring tape to your table. This way you have an easy way to take any measurements for the amount of fabric that you need and an easy way to cut it as well. Alright you guys, and last but definitely not least is one of my faves. This is the Wonder Tape. I love this stuff. I have a full video all about Wonder Tape, so if you want to click the card coming up on your right to check it out, go ahead and do that. But basically, it just makes sewing easier. You guys can see I'm using it here for a hem with a knit fabric, so it makes that super easy. It'll also help stabilize any knit fabric that you're working with as well. You can use it for doing different things like adding piping instead of having to pin multiple layers. Just go ahead and throw some Wonder Tape down and you are good to go. You can also use it for applying zippers. Instead of pinning those down, you can use your Wonder Tape and it keeps everything nice, neat, and in place. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, found it helpful. Give it a thumbs up if you did, because I will definitely do more, because I have more hacks up my sleeve. And also make sure that you subscribe and leave a comment down below letting me know what are some of your favorite tips. Now let's check out our Material Girl of the Week. This was shared on Facebook and she used my easy wide leg pants tutorial to make these pants super dope. Make sure you guys keep sharing so I can share what you create. And of course you guys can catch up with me everywhere on the interwebs at Nadira037. Check out my previous tutorials and thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all and until my next video, Assalamu alaikum. Peace.